It's week 4 of the Greek League regular season, and Olympiacos Piraeus return to their home court, the home of the team that's runners-up in the last few years in the Greek League. Olympiacos Piraeus play at the Stadium of Peace and Friendship, and once again, as you can see, no crowd. What a difference between tonight and the other night when they had 11,000 screaming fans here in EuroLeague when Olympiacos beat Malaga. Well, the visitors tonight, PAOK Salonika, they may not appreciate a very, very quiet arena, as their crowds in Salonika are extremely passionate and noisy. It's Olympiacos in white, PAOK in black. I'm Roy Birch, and in the commentary booth with me, as usual, is Mickey Bett. Mickey, PAOK has a great tradition, but do they have enough talent to spring a surprise tonight?
Well, as we said last week with Storm Harris, or 2 weeks ago, with there's nobody in the arena, that everybody's got a chance because such a quiet atmosphere here. The problem for PAOK is they only have one player returning from last year. Could be a problem. That man, Gazelle Wesson, will obviously give him a lot of firepower tonight. But I understand Kenny Gregory won't play tonight. Big loss for PAOK.
Yeah, PAOK have got problems already. They're 1 win and 2 losses, and a lot of pressure is on the shoulders of their coach, Argyris Padoulakis. Those 2 losses against Panionios and Panellinios have been blamed on the poor chemistry in the team. You had an American, Akins, who we understand has disciplinary problems with the odd drug or two, and he's been criticised for some of his other selections as well. Dejan Tomasevich, he's injured, we understand, and he's on a huge salary, so all the problems at the moment faced by the team in black. No problems for Olympiacos with a massive budget. We understand their budget is well, bordering on something like 37 million euros. I repeat, 37 million euros. That equates to something like $55 million, or a lot of sterling.
Well, it's amazing, Roy. You get warmed up for about an hour, you shoot a lot of shots, and both teams come out cold, exactly as we saw 2 weeks ago in that Aris game. I'm sure it won't be long before the whites get going.
Vutic with the hook shot, as you say, struggling to find the hoop. And, well, I asked you the question, or do PAOK have enough talent? Well, if it's a low-scoring situation, then anybody has the possibility of springing a surprise here.
I think it's important for PAOK they hold on the first quarter. You don't want to get in a situation against a team like Olympiacos and find yourself down after 10 minutes. What a nice move there. A little rinky-dink up and under.
Well, it was almost in slow motion from George Ciaras, and laid it up with what looked like the wrong hand. Went left and shot right. But Olympiacos, the quick response, Milos Teodosic.
Well, Teodosic has come onto this team, born in '87, so he's only 21, very young player, and found himself in the starting lineup.
Bit of a luxury for Coach Yanakis of Olympiacos. He's got an incredibly long bench, has recruited heavily during the summer. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Notably, Josh Childress, of course, on something like $20 million over 3 years. And there he is, just about to inbound, the number 6 there, with the very, very noticeable afro haircut.
Well, I thought the great part about that was the defense. They got it low in the shot clock, and when the Ciaras went up for the shot, it was hand in face and bothering that shot, and the air ball was the result for the PAOK players.
Well, we've had 7 shots in the game, and only 2 have been successful, 1 for each team. And foul on the baseline, and that should result in 2 free throws for George Prindizis.
Well, that was a good move from Prindizis. He got the spin and then went up instead of going up and using the backboard. He went up to try and dunk that. Now, he has won a dunk competition. I think it was last year, but his team that he played for in this league comes here with a lot of athleticism for this team.
Coach Yanakis, of course, of Olympiacos, will be very much in tune with the tradition that PAOK bring to Greek basketball. When he was a player back in the late 80s, early 90s with Aris, they, of course, shared home court with PAOK Salonika. And in the early days of Eurosport, we took a lot of their games, PAOK and Aris, with Coach Yanakis, as he was then one of the best guards in Europe.
I had the good fortune of seeing a lot of those games. Played against him a couple of times. Very, very solid player.
Nice pass inside, and a nice easy 2. The hook shot again, this time Saris again, so 4 points to him.
The Olympiacos known for the defense, and that was what let him down there. The switch underneath left Ciaras open, and it's real gentle stuff right now.
Childress fails to capitalize off the glass, and there's a holding foul, this time number 5 for PAOK. That's Paniotis Kafkis. Well, Coach Pedulakis of PAOK called a timeout, didn't like just what he was seeing, particularly on defense. And let's see if he changes. No, PAOK still in a man-to-man. Vujic in the low post. Oh, lovely little smuggle pass. But Prindizis couldn't smuggle his way through.
Well, the problem there for Prindizis, he got banged, he got pushed around. The referees do not call many fouls in that red area in the paint.
And rebound Vujic, and very casual outlet pass to Dosic on the break. And the first three of the game to Yotam Halperin, recently recruited from Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Well, it started with a Maccabi Tel Aviv player in Vujic, or ex-Maccabi Tel Aviv, and finished with one in Halperin. And I think this Olympiacos team has been well thought of in the construction of bringing this team together.
Yeah, both the big two in Greece, Panathinaikos and Olympiacos, have they're taking their time over getting the chemistry of both teams sorted out. It will come, and the owners of Olympiacos have spent an awful lot of money to try and wrestle the Greek championship and, of course, the EuroLeague on their near neighbours. Panathinaikos have won the Greek League, Greek playoffs, well, more times than Olympiacos like to remember. 10 out the last 11 years.
Oh, that was a sweeter move, as you'll see in Europe right now in Josh Childress. He is the outstanding athlete in this whole EuroLeague, Greek League, call it one. But that was just beautiful. Behind the back and a left-hand finger roll.
Yeah. Childress has scored 19 points in the last two games in the regular season of the Greek League. They beat Aris 74-57, and they beat Larissa 82-66. And Childress, the man just chasing the ball there, top scorer both times.
I just question whether Childress has the experience to really take this Olympiacos team this year to the EuroLeague crown. The Greek League's between probably them and Panathinaikos, and it's come down to two games. Who will win, who will lose. But the EuroLeague's a different matter. Longer season, a lot tougher games.
I think he'll take time to adjust, as you say, though. Physically, he's not as big and as strong as some of the other Americans in the game. But the thing is, he does have some big guys in his team with him, notably Ioannis Barousis. Barousis had a fantastic game the other day against Malaga in the EuroLeague. 20 points and 14 rebounds. And that took an awful lot of pressure off Childress.
Well, EuroLeague's where these major players will play the major minutes. These games, they'll spread the minutes around and make sure it's all balanced.
On the other hand, PAOK, they've got real problems there. As I said, they're 1 and 2 in week one. They lost to Panionios 76-80, and here they are, Halperin hitting his second three-pointer.
Oh, Halperin can shoot, there's no doubt about it. The pick and roll, nobody really stepped up to it, and he had that little window to shoot the ball, got it off, and having a good first quarter.
Yeah, the only wins PAOK have got so far is against Lowly Tricolo, and they beat them by 11, with Kenny Gregory getting 22 points, but there's no Kenny Gregory tonight. We understand he wanted to come to Athens from Salonika, but he was left behind for some treatment.
A travelling call there on Childress, Roy. A nice move from Childress. Got a little finger roll, didn't quite roll, rolled over the other side, got the rebound, and then just fumbled the ball. And yeah, he's slapping his hands. He's not quite happy with that performance. I'm in the Aris game where he came late. I think he had 15 points in the fourth quarter. He's one of those players that takes a good look. He's a run and jump.
One of the few players I've seen in Europe, of his stature anyway, who prefer to shoot off the glass. If he's got the playing at the forward spot, he'll prefer to kiss it off the glass rather than shoot a clean jumper with all nets. And it's inside, that's a travel. Surely that's a travel, referee.
Yeah, it is a travel. It's a good call. Prindezis should have passed it.
The Stadium of Peace and Friendship is a spectator-free area, we understand, and also it's a smoke-free area. It's the result of all the shenanigans in the playoffs last year in that 5-game series against Panathinaikos. Visitors tonight are PAOK with 3.5 to go, and that three-pointer from Tsasaris will definitely help their cause. They're fighting their way back in after 2 timeouts by Coach Pedulakis.
Yeah, that's a nice little offense down the other end. Now PAOK have to hang on. They've got to play some defense. Dosic fires one up, and Roy, that's 3 threes a quarter. I mean, when you're shooting like that, you know you're in for a hard time where there's no crowd here.
Well, just as you mentioned, PAOK have got to start playing defense. They just went AWOL. Well, not a hand up or anything there.
I think early on you got to decide whether you're going to get up close to the shooters or give them some space and see if they miss the first 1 or 2.
No Papaloukas yet for Olympiacos. Their big signing from CSKA Moscow. Theo Papaloukas came from the champions CSKA Moscow to Olympiacos to play in his native country of Greece. We've not seen him on court yet, and just looking down the bench.
Well, Lingria is about to step in, so now's about time. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Papaloukas will be next, I'm sure. Barousis maybe, he's getting his top off over there. Here's a chance for PAOK to finish another two. Yep. Poor play for Olympiacos, Roy.
So, PAOK have fought their way back in, 5 in a row.
You're expecting the crowd to suddenly erupt into some noise, aren't you? But it's not going to happen tonight.
Oh, no travel call there. Did both feet leave the floor? Apparently not. Here's Vutic again in that mid-post spot. He does like that smuggle pass in. Halperin from the corner again.
That's his third three, and Jotam Halperin is having a very, very good 8 minutes for the Reds. Much as what the doctor ordered. That's 9 out of 18 points. Half the points for Olympiacos.
Yeah, just to clarify a couple of things that have been said. Olympiacos, the Reds as they're known, are playing in white. And of course, Panathinaikos, they're known as the Greens. They also play a lot of games in white. So a bit confusing here in the Greek capital.
Well, there's a foul from Milos Teodosic, the young 21-year-old. He knows he's made a mistake because he got burnt on the back screen, then had to foul the shooter. And the look of resignation, that's why he knew he was coming to the bench. He was probably designated anyway. A few words for Yannikis.
Yeah, Papaloukas on the bench for Olympiacos. There he is, with his elbows on his knees, just wondering how much court time he's going to get. If I were Coach Yannikis, then after such an exertion in EuroLeague on midweek against Malaga, a very good Malaga team, I think he may be tempted to give some of his players a bit of a breather here tonight. Just a couple of minutes on court, perhaps. But he does want to get Josh Childress, the number 6 there, just left of your screen, into the chemistry of the team, into the workings of the team. Try and get some understanding. Here he is. Has he got a three-point threat? I don't think so, but he's certainly got a penetration threat. But on this occasion, no good. And there's a foul against PAOK, a holding foul, to say the very least.
Well, Zoran Erceg was up top on the high post with Childress, and that's not the position you'd usually find a player like Childress a guard. But Childress went to the hoop. There's the rebound from Erceg. He's pulled back there by Kazel Wesson. It's an easy call for the referees. It's almost a grab on the back of the arm, I think. The shoulder. There it is. Yeah, Wesson gets his foul. 2 free throws for Erceg.
Wesson was second top scorer against Tricolour the other night in week 2, 17 points. And he got 16 points against Panellinius, 1 win and 1 loss.
Well, I always admire people who rebound very well. Wesson averaged double-figure rebounds and points at LaSalle University. He's come in as the leading rebounder last year in the Greek League. And before that in Germany, he was the 4th leading rebounder. He does the business under the boards. And a good buy for PAOK, really. Good acquisition.
Another new recruit for Olympiacos. Igor Milosevic comes in, the number 8 in white.
That's good to see Milosevic. He's had his problems with injuries. That same play, same result. Lingria gets the foul, Roy. That was the same back play that put Teodosic on the bench less than a minute ago. And that, I would think, is something that Yannikis needs to look at as far as his defense.
First foul against Greer. Ex-Milwaukee Bucks player, of course.
Well, you talk about the acquisitions that Yannikis makes, and Greer is one of those key acquisitions. A very, very smart and intelligent player. A lot of young players around the 23 to 25-year-old years of age, which means they're around for a few more years to come. And Olympiacos could be a force in the next 2 or 3 years.
I really enjoyed the Greek League playoffs last year, particularly the series against Panathinaikos. They went to 5 on the 5th game on Panathinaikos, his home court. And one abiding memory of mine is that Lingria stood on the foul line and handed the ball back to the referee and said, "I'm not going to shoot a foul shot while some idiot in the crowd is shining a laser beam in my eye." And he was quite right to do so as well. You know, we had a quick look. What is he doing? Why is he handing the ball back to the referee? And then we saw the replay on the television sets in our monitors, and some idiot was shining a laser beam in his eyes.
One of the reasons why it's closed doors today.
Yep.
I mean, it's a problem with Greek basketball right now. They have to sort it out. This is their solution to that problem. Whether it will work, only time will tell, because the problems usually occur when the main rivals go head-to-head, not just these two, Olympiacos and Panathinaikos, but other rivals.
Well, one of the problems is that the brothers Agolopoulos have got so much money that they don't really need the revenue from The 11,000 fans that they don't often turn up to the Greek League regular games. They do turn up to the EuroLeague games, but the owners have enough money to be able to cope without the spectator revenue. So, well, it's a cleft stick, really. Does it really hurt the team? It certainly hurts them with no atmosphere, and it hurts the opposition as well. That's a great hesitation dribble, and Milosevic drawn into the foul there.
Yeah, Christos Krisis there, number 6 with the boys, the ex-Olympiacos player, mind you, so he's played against some of his teammates before in the EuroLeague a couple of years ago.
Bit of a weave at the top. This is Vassiliadis, and outside threat from PAOK there for all to see. It's Vassiliadis again coming off the pick, and it's only a 3-point game. Now the shot clock has been turned off towards the end of this first period. Lingria pulls up. Barousis, the fadeaway shot. Well, we'll give him a pass there. We'll give Barousis an assist, and Erceg just threw it in almost on the buzzer. So it's a 5-point lead for Olympiacos at the end of the first period. Olympiacos Piraeus 22, PAOK Salonika 17. Olympiacos Piraeus 22, PAOK Salonika 17 in the 4th week of the Greek League, the regular season. 14 teams playing the A1 in Greece, which equates to 26 games. Round robin, everybody plays everybody home and away. And at the end of the regular season, the top 8 play in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, best of 3, semis and finals, best of 5. There's Barousis, had a great game against Malaga in League the other night, but 2 turnovers really to him tonight. And there's a turnover, or rather a foul against Olympiacos.
Yeah, I think that's Igor Milosevic there. He made the pass to Barousis. Barousis couldn't hold it, but Milosevic got back and fouled to stop that PAOK fast break. There he is, the ex-Red Star man.
As we said, PAOK, fantastic tradition in Greek basketball. Winners of the old European Cup Winners' Cup a couple of times. And used to have great rivalry with Aris Salonika. But last year, unbelievably, they came 12th, missing out on the playoffs. And that's one of the reasons they missed out on the playoffs, is they had poor chemistry in their team.
Well, I don't see this team perhaps as a great play. Barousis knows that was a nice play there. Lingria, was it, Roy? I wasn't sure who saw through the pass, but I'm guessing it was Greer. Barousis finished it off in style. Great. He's picked up his 2nd foul for some reason.
Terrific movement there from Barousis. He's 7 foot tall, big guy, built like the outhouse door that, well, sets a lot of screens, and is quick enough to beat his man on the back door and had an open dunk. Great off-the-ball play from a big guy. And Greer takes a break on 2 fouls and replaced by Milos Teodosic.
I was about to say, I don't see this PAOK team being, you know, a real top 4 or 5 in this Greek League this year anyway. So to see how they cope today with Olympiacos, one of the favoured teams.
No, I think what PAOK have got to do really is they've got to try and get in the top 8 somehow. I mean, 12th position is unbelievable for a team of their stature, or a club of their stature. They've got an 8,000-seater stadium, and they very, very often fill it as well. The fans are incredible up in Salonika for both teams. They have 2 different courts now, Aris and PAOK. And PAOK, the Thessalonica crowd, there's a million people in Thessalonica, and they deserve 2 fantastic basketball teams. And at the moment, they've got one pretty good one in Aris, and one that should be good, but, well, they're unpredictable, PAOK.
And we did a few ULEB games at PAOK too, and we know the fans are very, very partisan. They love their hoops. That was a beautiful offense coming down the floor there. Olympiacos, Barousis flashed into the high post, and then Erceg went back door, got fouled, and 1 free throw was good and 1 free throw was errant.
Well, again, a slow start by both teams to a period, but the slowest start is by PAOK. They haven't scored in this period as yet. It's the defense that's doing it for Olympiacos. Swarming defense, forcing bad shots, and PAOK eventually get the drop, and Barousis just quizzes the official as to how much contact is allowed in there.
Well, that'll be an area that Yannikis will not be happy with, as Cazal Wesson takes a couple of dribbles, moves Barousis back, and the jump hook was an easy shot. You just see if PAOK go back to that play.
I'd like to see Barousis look at the hoop, because even at 7 foot, he has got a great eye. He's got a terrific outside threat. Hit 2 threes against Malaga the other night, and at the moment he seems to be content to playing inside and leaving the threes to his teammates, like Milosevic, like Teodosic there.
That was beautiful play. Milosevic penetrates. Teodosic moves a couple of yards to the right, fires up a 3.
And the difference there, PAOK, that was a forced 3-point attempt.
Olympiacos have 2 Serbian guards out there, Teodosic and Milosevic, so it'll be interesting to see how they work together.
Good defense from Wesson. There's Barousis. Good rebound from Cazel. Wesson. Yeah, just repeat, if viewers on Eurosport 2 were expecting to see an old fan, or an ex-favourite of theirs from the British League, Kenny Gregory, you understand he's got a real problem with his knees. He's had knee problems throughout his career, and he's not suited up for PAOK Salonika. Neither, in fact, is Dejan Tomasevic. Here's another veteran with knee problems. So perhaps they've recruited a couple of, well, veterans who may be a little bit past it, sadly, for PAOK.
Wrote a pass from Milos Teodosic there to Zoran Erceg, went back door. There's Erceg with a pump fake, gets the foul there. But the left-handed, one-handed wraparound pass was, I'd say, exquisite. What might be a good description of that one. Very, very cute.
There's George Prinzizis, just waiting to get into the fray. And on the line, Zoran Erceg. Oh, the Ghana public address system has woken up.
He's woken everybody else up. Erceg, we've seen a lot of him play with the Železnik last year and the year before with the ULEB in the ULEB Cup. Played in the Adriatic for a few years and subs out. Prindezis comes back in. And Milosevic is giving a hard time to these PAOK guards.
To the defense of Prindezis, fighting through the moving screens all the way up the floor.
Well, this reminds me of the Panathinaikos defense. That's a great pass.
Well, that is beautiful. And good defense as well. Well, and you get a nice bounce pass inside, go up strong. And that's what the PAOK man didn't do there.
Nice choice there from the Olympiacos there. Teodosic gets it, grabs it back out. Didn't see anything really in the secondary break. And gone to a half-court set.
So 6 to go in the first half. And this time, PAOK do play good defense, good hands.
That high-low option there was definitely on. The pass was poor.
Well, Prindezis playing defense like a man possessed, but he can't stop that outside threat there. Look at this block here. Clean block, no goaltending, got the ball on the way up.
That was the youngster Michalis Pelikanos that's just in the game in his first minute.
Pelikanos, of course, new recruit from Real Madrid, didn't get much court time last season at Real, and here he is in his native Greece. Erceg can't get his hands on the ball.
Cazel Wesson does what he does best. Yeah, I don't know, it's Mamadou Diarra. But they do clean up the boards. Diarra and Wesson, they do very, very good job for PAOK. And I think with Kenny Gregory, when he's fit, it's going to be a tough team.
Good passing from PAOK, and the 3 from the corner for Mamadou Diarra.
The only player, incidentally, to play for PAOK last year. One player left from last year, and I have a problem with teams that change and change and change. You've got to find consistency if you want success. Well,
it's endemic in Greek basketball, I'm afraid, Mickey, with the exception of the big 2, Panathinaikos and Olympiacos. They keep the core of their team and recruit to improve, whereas other teams, well, they just have wholesale clear-outs and recruit to start again.
Yeah, it's almost like the Band-Aid theory, isn't it? You just put something on it for 1 year and hope it gets better. And you've got to get some players in to stay for a couple of years. Great pass, back door, he's missed it.
Barousis hangs on the ring and gets nothing. And this is a break, nice break from PAOK. Well finished off by Harisis.
Well, there you go, the veteran player, Christos Harisis, finished off that layup. And it's a 1-point game, Roy. PAOK are hanging around.
Now, that surprised me then, because Barousis has a great attitude normally, and he was too content to ask the referee for help then, while PAOK was scoring on the fast break. That is so unlike Iosis Barousis. There he is setting a pick, going for the rebound, and no need, because the outside threat from Halperin is there for all to see.
3-pointer number 4. Right foot very close to the line, but we'll count 3 on that one.
So suddenly, from being 5 points ahead at the beginning of this period, Olympiacos now 14 ahead with the rebound by Barousis.
Yanni Barousis is a rebounder, there's no doubt about it. He is a very, very effective player under the backboard. Nice move too, got fouled.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike. Takes some doing that, does, to put Barousis on his backside.
Is that Dimitri Marmarinas put him on the floor? It's asking, wasn't me, ref, honest.
Well, here we go. Bang, get out of here. Not even you, Barousis, are going to score. So the Padoulakis timeout is concluded, and on the foul line for Olympiacos with no rebounders because of the unsportsmanlike Yannis Barousis.
We talk about rebound. He was 4th in the Greek League last year and the year before, and 5th 2 years ago. So he has a history of being one of the top rebounders in this league, and that is no mean feat. Especially when you consider a lot of these teams hire big American import players to go and fill the points, fill the place in the block, and probably play more minutes than Barousis too.
Yeah, Bruce is normally sort of 22 minutes, and that's what he did against Malaga the other night. 20 points and 14 rebounds in about half a game. So a great stats index. I think his stats index was something like 32. Only beaten, of course, by Pop Spencer Bonsu of Juventus, who got a stats index of 35 the other day. 22 points and 14 rebounds for Pops. And that included a few blocks as well. Again, the defense from Olympiacos swarming all over PAOK.
Well, PAOK are good. Christos Karisis running the show right now. Very patient, very active.
Shot clock in single figures. That's a foul, shout the PAOK bench. The referee says, no way. That came off a white foot.
Well, there was a couple of fouls in there, and PAOK have ended up with the ball. Surprise, look at this. Mamadou Diarra's over the back of Pelikanos.
Yeah, Prince George, it's Theodosic's foot that kicked it out of bounds.
It is a war under that basket, there's no doubt about it. And Roy, I can't wait for Panathinaikos Olympiacos to go at it, because it will get even worse. Under that basket, it will be no blood, no foul.
Well, basketball fans should begin to salivate at the prospect, as that is a tremendous matchup every year.
That should be a league in itself, shouldn't it? Just those two. 30 games a year.
Yeah, but again, Mickey, I keep saying on Eurosport 2 that one of the problems of Greek basketball is that they cannot compete with the likes of the Spanish League, the Russian League. There are only really 2 teams who compete in Greece, and that's not good for Greek basketball. Okay, they've won European championships a couple of times. They're silver medalists in the World Championships. Didn't do very well in this year's Olympics. Didn't do very well when they hosted the Olympics. And really, it's their domestic competition is so predictable. That's the problem. The bottom teams, they just don't beat the top 2 teams. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help for the game in Greece.
No, I would agree. There's no doubt about it. The other Greek teams are decent, good, strong teams against, in comparison with a lot of European leagues, but there is, the parity is not there, is it?
Well, I understand that Real Madrid lost in overtime to a new team, Cajasol, the other day. At home, Real Madrid losing at home to a new team. That's unbelievable. Something like 109, 116. And this week they lost to PAOK America as well. So Real Madrid, the mighty Real Madrid, losing in the Spanish league. And that is so competitive. And that is one of the problems of Greek basketball. It ain't that competitive.
Well, if a team like Real Madrid is suffering in the Spanish league, then there's a problems afoot, and I can guarantee those problems will get solved very quickly. And I know first place they'll start looking.
Say suffering, they're 2 and 3 at the moment. Real, they've won 2, lost 3. So after 5 games, well, a mini crisis for Real Madrid. Anyway, Olympiacos, they're 3-0. I understand Panathinaikos have won big as well this week. They're 3-0, and well, Eurosport 2 will see that great matchup in a couple of weeks' time. Well, it's a good break. Great break from PAOK. Again, it's Mamadou Diarra, lays it up. Well, more than lays it up, throws it down.
Well, this is a team that will not lie down, missing 2 good players. If Tomasevic doesn't play, we know Gregory won't play. Injury.
From 14 behind, PAOK are now only 3 behind, and Diarra another rebound. Now PAOK can tie it up with the 3 here. I just wonder whether Coach Yanakis will be tempted to call a timeout.
Well, he went down the bench, so he's obviously going to find a sub. That was a poor shot down the other end from Pelikanos.
Travel.
It's got to be a travel. I think when you hear a referee whistle like that, it's, you know, there's problems for the guy dribbling the ball.
Well, Diarra's just asking the referee just to So where's the foul, ref? And KZL Western there, number 4 on the PAOK bench, just looks in with well, incredulity in his face, as there's the pretty obvious substitution for Olympiacos. When you want the job done, then you put your star American on, and that star American, Josh Childress.
Well, I think there's a technical foul being called, Roy.
That's against,
I'm not sure who was on, a coach or a player.
I think it was Diarra. Diarra was complaining to the official, and he's got a technical foul awarded against him.
He's got a few words to say for the referees, that's for sure. I don't want to go too far. The last thing he wants to be sitting in the stands on his own.
Well, this is the second season that Eurosport 2 have covered the Greek League, and it was very noticeable that teams coming to both the PAOK Arena for the Panathinaikos games and here at the Stadium Peace and Friendship, they had it in their minds that they were getting a raw deal from the officials. And it's probably true. I mean, when one team is so far superior to another team, you know it's only a matter of time before they break the game open, then teams are going to get it in their minds to say everything is going against us. And teams have just got to forget that and play the game. Olympiacos, Panathinaikos are tough physical teams, so you've got to play fire with fire. Yeah, there's a foul, a well-drawn foul. The foul against, oh, he's been called to travel.
It's a carry, maybe. Yeah, it's a carry. That's a carry. There was a bump there from Baroussis, but the referees had called the carry way before it, and he said, no way, come on. Yeah, tough play. 43 seconds, a 7-point lead for Olympiacos.
Well, to their credit, PAOK didn't complain then. Oh, that's almost a nice smuggle, but he just came off a PAOK player, and 19 on the shot clock.
Beautiful understanding there from the 2 ex-Maccabi players, Halperin and Vujic. As Vujic almost got the little easy layup. If he'd caught it, it would have been game over.
35 seconds remaining in the first half, and Olympiacos with a semi-comfortable win, and it's even more comfortable now as Prindizis just the finger roll.
Yeah, pretty move, and now Olympiacos have probably the true starters out on the floor. They look a very slick machine.
Differential of 4 seconds between game and shot clock. Let's see if PAOK run the shot clock all the way down to give Olympiacos very little time. That's a foul. Yeah, well, drawn foul against Prindizis. This time he does get the foul.
I think Christos Karisis, since his introduction to the game in the first quarter, has really controlled it for PAOK and controlled it very well. That's a beautiful pass. Marmarinas catches it. Prindizis gets the foul.
KZL Western back in for PAOK.
This should be a defensive substitution, really. Diarra sits down because they're going to get free throws. No, it's an out of bounds, so this is Weston in here for the last shot of the half.
Now let's see what PAOK have got in the form of out of bounds play. 7.5 seconds remaining. Well, the outside shot is missed by a long way. Childress the rebound, 3 seconds. The three-pointer is good on the buzzer. Now the referee just checking with the table. Yes, the 3 have been given.
Beautiful play, Roy. Josh Childress got it. Thought he couldn't take the shot and just flipped it up to Teodosic. Nice footwork from Teodosic, and it's yes.
Yeah. Oh. Ball left his hand with half a second remaining in the game clock, so it's a 10-point lead. Sorry, 12-point lead with those 3. Olympiacos 43, PAOK Salonika 31. To say the Stadium of Peace and Friendship in Athens is sparsely populated is an understatement indeed. There's nobody here except the teams. Olympiacos Piraeus in white against PAOK Salonika. The ban against Olympiacos and Panathinaikos players, for that matter, is still in force, except in EuroLeague. Here in the Greek League, it's week 4 of the regular season. And, well, let's hope the fans, when they eventually are allowed back in, will have learned their lesson. Well, PAOK, they lose the ball. It's knocked out of the hands of Alexis Kritsis, but it came off his knee, apparently. Here we go. Yeah, dead right. Good call, Mr. Referee, sir.
Yeah, it was. Nice hands there from, I'm not sure who, but Kritsis definitely off his leg and his hand.
Childress. Oh, Prindizis handed his man off there. Great elbow. Nice fake. Lingria, 3 on the shot clock. No offensive foul, and Greer pulls up and nails the 2 on the buzzer of the shot clock. 2 points counts, and Greer, he wants 1 as well.
I wonder what he's saying to the referee. I couldn't quite make that out, but he got away with a charging foul. It could have gone either way.
Interesting to see that in all EuroLeague and big club courts now, that no charge circle is clearly marked out under the basket. Whether it's actually enforced this year or not is another thing to think about. I don't think it should be enforced until next season. But there it is, clearly that white semicircle under the basket. No charge called if the defense stands in there.
Well, it'd be interesting to see whether the referees actually interpret it the way it should be interpreted too.
45 plays 31. Olympiacos Piraeus against PAOK Salonika. Salonika made the long journey down south without two of their major players, Dejan Tomasevich and Kenny Gregory. And well, with 2 seconds left on the shot clock, Childress is inside and a nice finger roll misses. And that's good defense from Kafkis.
Well, he did everything right. Josh Childress just couldn't finish it off, and the result is Cassell Weston gets an easy one down the other end, and that's where you have to concentrate on your layups.
Yeah, great evidence there of if you miss a layup, then you're giving your opponents a chance for a layup the other end, because they outnumber you straight away. And that's what PAOK did, and sprang the transition offense superbly. Here's Lingria.
Olympiacos have the upper hand with a 12-point lead now. PAOK can play some D, get some missed shots. Well, not that occasion.
Fadeaway shot again from Lingria.
Same position as about a minute ago. Little lefty pull up from about 8 to 10 feet. Same offense here for PAOK, Roy. They run a baseline runner.
Yeah, PAOK very, very predictable, aren't they? They run some sweet offenses occasionally, but make it very easy when you're limited in the number of options you've got. And that's a poor option from Diarra.
Yeah, a lot of early movement. Didn't come to anything, really. Nothing gained, really. The ball ended up three-point line and stayed there.
Teodosic looking to bounce it into Barousis. No way through. Here's Lingria again. Barousis in the corner, just inside the arc. Nails it a long two. That guy's got a great all-round game. Just inside the arc this time, but as sweet as a nut. Well, here's a replay of the Josh Childress miss, and PAOK score at the other end.
I think they might be arguing that should be goaltending. Hit the backboard, Greer goes up. Another two for Greer, 6 points for the half. So Lynn Greer.
The lefty lays it up right-handed.
Ambidextrous move there from Greer. All basketball players will learn to shoot both hands.
The problem for PAOK at the moment is that Olympiacos are scoring in bursts. They're getting 4 points for that reply, 6 points for that reply occasionally, and PAOK really do struggle. Okay, 1 or 2 nice offenses, but they're not trading baskets at the moment and going further and further behind with every minute that passes.
Interesting note, Roy, the Olympiacos defense scrambles around a lot, which means that they end up marking other players than what they start with. So here's a situation here. It usually starts from we've got a turnover here. Childress to finish this one.
The alley-oop pass is unsuccessful, and that's a poor offense, really. Poor execution of a fast break from 3 experienced players on the Olympiacos side. And again, I was about to say, and again, they have a layup scored against them. Here's Childress again. Oh, that's got to be an unsportsmanlike. That has to be called unsportsmanlike, Mr. Referee, sir. No attempt at playing defense. Just Birchwell held out an arm like a clothes hanger. Here we go.
Childress wasn't going to pass this one. He passed the last one, and it messed up. There was no way Childress was going to pass that. Kafkis gets the foul, the wraparound foul.
Well, it's not been called unsportsmanlike, and that does amaze me.
Only 2 points tonight for Josh Childress. That's a low return. He usually gets going fourth quarter. 18 to 19 points every game he's played so far in this league.
Oh, the very pensive look on the face of Coach Argyris Pedalukas of PAOK Salonika. His job's on the line, I think. He's been one of the 2 Greek A1 league coaches pinpointed for his for the possibility of losing his job. Got a big budget, we understand. Don't know exactly what that is. It's nowhere near the 37 million that Olympiacos have, but well, he's got a few highly paid stars in his team who are not performing.
When you say a big budget, Roy, in comparison to 37 million, nothing can be a big budget, really, can it?
I understand Olympiacos' budget, the second in Europe, second biggest in Europe, second only to CSKA Moscow, and bigger even than Panathinaikos' budget, only by $1 million or so, but still bigger.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. I wonder what PAOK's budget is, maybe 5 million. It's a lot of money, but they are struggling, really.
Kezo Weston, nice left-handed shots.
That's a nice play, Weston there. Right-handed player, but went up lefty, and he's trying to get his troops all fired up. Get them back in this game. 17 down now.
The change of mind, change of hand, and hesitation in the air from Lingria results in a nice 2. Everybody thought he was going to pass after Barousis. Everybody, that is, of course, except Lingria himself. Here is Greer on defense. Good switch. And again, the defense forcing PAOK to play a long way from the hoop. Good communication from PAOK, fighting their way through the picks, and PAOK get the drop.
Well, interesting to see the play from that level up, and you saw the number of switches that the Olympiacos defense does, which means that they get mismatches at certain points, and that was one mismatch there. Barousis trying to block the shot there of... you're looking at the basket. Barousis can't believe the foul. He can't believe the ball's gone in the basket.
So young viewers on Eurosport 2 should look at this as a great educational opportunity, because you can actually hear the defense talking. And as my colleague Mickey Betters has said, from some of these views, you get a view of a lot of the picks that are being set, and of course how to defend against the pick as well. If you're playing against a team that sets a lot of picks against you, you must talk, you must identify where the pick is, who it's on, and help your teammate to fight through the pick.
Exactly. So Diarra there, a few words to the referee. Diarra's saying that's a bad call. It was off Childress. Diarra's, you know, I think sometimes players will argue when they think they're right, which is pretty much all the time, I guess. But sometimes you just get the feeling they know it better than the referees.
Yeah, what you don't see in basketball, though, is when the ball goes out of bounds, you don't see 10 pairs of arms go up, our ball ref, like you do in football. You see all 20 players appeal, even though they know very well whose ball it really is.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think you're right there, Roy. It's very, very rare that you don't know. The players don't actually know what's going on. They try and con the referees sometimes, but not often.
Childress passes into Prindizis, and, well,
why?
Did Barousis take it out then? I think he did. I think it was going in, and he actually knocked it out.
I think you're right. It was going. A nice move there. Vassiliadis, he's come off the bench first quarter, got some action going. Plenty of energy from Kostas Vassiliadis.
I think that's the third or fourth layup that PAOK have had, a result of Olympiacos missing relatively easy shots. If they can spring a few more of those, then they may be back in this game. Still a long way to go. 14 minutes in the half, unless, of course, we have overtime. Looks unlikely at the moment, but you never know. If Barousis gets a few more rebounds, then PAOK stand no chance. Nobody boxed the big guy out then. Childress again, hands off to Teodosic. Teodosic almost throws it away, rescued by Childress. 5 on the shot clock. Childress goes inside, and a nice, well, we'll call that a reverse layup.
Well, that is what Josh Childress does very, very well. He's not a great shooter, great defender, but very long arms, but a real slasher to the hoop. Goes hard, goes strong, long arms.
Yeah, I still question the statistic we've got about his height. He's supposedly 6'8". I just wonder whether that includes his hairdo. I don't think he's 6'8", you know.
I think he looks about 6'6", 6'7", to be honest with you. You're right, I've seen a few, the websites have got it varied.
On court for Olympiacos, number 14, Ian Vugiaskas. Now, you've got a few personal statistics about him, Mickey.
Well, I always go with names, and Ian's obviously one of those Scottish names. And I was quite attracted by Ian Vugiaskas with that name, and it turns out he was born in London, England, 7 foot tall. Good basketball history, played at St. Louis University. Average double-figure points there.
Now, has he played for the Greek national team yet?
Oh, he was on the roster. He was on the roster for the Beijing Olympics this summer. Didn't make it in the end, but he was definitely in Yannikis' thoughts.
I just wonder whether he actually made the team or not, because if he didn't...
No, he didn't play. I think he's played for the national team, but he didn't make the Beijing Olympic team.
Yeah, the reason I asked that is if he's played for the Greek national team, then he cannot be part of Coach Chris Finch's thoughts for the 2012 games. Which is a shame, because a few young 7-footers of his ability, or his potential, let's say, would be very useful to Coach Finch.
Well, I'm guessing he's going to be good enough to make the Greek team, so I think that answers that question. I can't see he'd choose the English great GB team over the Greek team, given this, he's probably got a deep Greek ancestry. with a name like Vugiakis.
Well, Keizel Wesson declines the second point there from the foul line. And Teodosic to Childress. Here's Childress again. It's very obvious that Childress has, well, let's say, not exactly a potent outside threat. Always goes inside.
Game. I think that's the way of looking at it. Everything's off the drive.
I was trying to be diplomatic about it. He doesn't for an outside threat ever. He shoots, well, he scores, well, most of his points from closer than 8 feet from the hoop. And I think a few teams, particularly in EuroLeague, will identify that particular situation.
Well, he's a 57% shooter inside, scorer inside the arc in the NBA. So that tells you right there, a lot of it is driving to the hoop. 36% from behind the arc, which is not bad. But I get the impression most of his game is slashing, using the drive, getting people off balance with pump fakes.
And a very sweet foul shot. So 16 points the lead for Olympiacos. And if they win this, then they will go 4-0 level, of course, with their big rivals Panathinaikos and PAOK. They'll be in the lower regions of the Greek league at 1-3. 5 on the shot clock. Diarra inside. No foul. Good defense from Urchek. Oh, that's superb defense.
Oh, it is unbelievable. The Diarra was wide open. Wesson couldn't get the ball off Teodosic. There you see the block.
Well, that's an example there. We saw a terrific example of no quitting from Teodosic. He refused to give up that. It was a 2-on-1 situation. All of his teammates had gone up the floor, and Teodosic refused to give up.
A nice shot from Karisis off the pick and roll. Nobody steps up. Open three-pointer, and PAOK are keeping it. You wouldn't say close, but they're hanging around.
Again, if you're just tuning in, no Papaloukas so far for Olympiacos. Their star Greek guard hasn't hit the floor as yet.
There's a beautiful pass there from Barousis to Vugiakis. There it is. Vugiakis dropped it in true 7-foot style. It was handed to you on a plate, young man.
Coach Pedrolakis there just having a word with Christos Harisis. And on the line for PAOK, number 7, Kostas Vassiliadis.
I like the way Vassiliadis has played today. Not play that many minutes, but come with the energy, enthusiasm that you want coming off a bench. As Karisis sees the instructions there from Coach Papaloukas. Yannikis is the old veteran, Roy. I just love watching him stalking up and down the bench there, looking at his players. A few words of comfort, a few words of criticism.
Well, the old adage, he used to play with his heart on his sleeve, and that's the way he coaches as well. He's all passion, but a controlled passion. Coach Yannikis, a modern-day Greek hero. And there's another modern-day Greek hero inside.
Beautiful play from Echek there. Went up. There's the pass there from Teodosic. Up and wraps it around. Nice play. Got the roll.
Whatever PAOK do, they just cannot get this lead back into single figures, into respectable terms. Wesson inside. Misses the 2. Well, that would have been an 11-point lead, but it stays at 13. And if Olympiacos score now, and I really do believe PAOK have problems.
Nice break there from Olympiacos. Halperin wasn't sure where to go with it. Came back out.
PAOK in his own, I think. Yeah, Keizel Wesson, the veteran there, just taking it easy, just covering that paint.
Well, it's the first time I've seen Vugiakis play. 7 foot tall. The big number 14 for Olympiacos here. Look at the size of him. He is a big boy. And, you know, you think he's got that GB English status. It's one that went missing.
Well, a few of those have gone missing over the years. Carlton Myers, another London-born, fantastic player, played for Italy. And, well, what could England have done with him in their ranks 15 years ago or so? Childress the rebound and the outlet pass. And it's all a little bit too easy at the moment for Olympiacos. The no-look pass from Teodosic finds the big guy, Vugiakis, inside. And it's 2 free throws to Olympiacos. Look at that. Everybody thought the ball was going into the corner, except the two people involved, the passer and the receiver.
Well, I think that's when you realize you're in a little stroll for Olympiacos. They're up and down. They're running at their own pace.
Mike Pelikanos in for Olympiacos, and Teodosic and Childress take a break.
You think when you get Milosevic and Pelikanos come in to sub for your two starters, you know you've got problems, because those two can both play.
Coach Pedulakis still doing his very best, still urging his charges on. Try and make one last effort. He has one period to get back from a 16-point deficit, if in fact it stays at 16 in the dying seconds of this third period. Okay, so Weston inside. Why make the difficult shot? Why not just throw it down, Cazell?
Exactly so. Had the easy shot from this side of the basket, went up and under, thought he was going to get blocked. And it's that defense, the intimidating defense for Olympiacos, that's proven dividends.
Shot clock being turned off. 10 in the quarter remaining. And the left-handed shot is missed, and the rebound grabbed. Oh, what a pass! What a pass on the baseline! Halperin was sitting on his backside, found a teammate for the last 2 points of the period. Wow, what vision from the Israeli guards. 65 plays 47, Olympiacos by 18. Fourth round of the Greek League. It's the regular season, and Olympiacos currently tying for the top spot with their arch rivals Panathinaikos, and they are playing PAOK Salonika tonight, and the team in white, that's the home team Olympiacos, leading by 18.
Well, it's good to see a player like Vugiakis get some extended time. We haven't seen him play before. Nice
Vugiakis makes the lead 20.
Well, when you've got a body like that, you can move some space. That is a big, tall lad. A nice defense here from Milosevic. He is a very, very good defender, Roy. I'm impressed with him today. Been injured a lot of his career.
Well, Vugiakis came from Rethimo, one of the lower-ranked teams in Greek basketball, and obviously come to pursue or to enhance his career. Good recruiting from Coach Yanakis. Well, he gets the drop as well.
A nice play, just fundamentally very, very sound from Vugiakis there. Passed the ball off, pick and roll, got it back. Should have used the backboard maybe, got the roll. Excellent play from Olympiacos. Got some good players, Yanakis, this year. All play the team ball.
What can PAOK do to try and get themselves back into this game? If they can get this back to single figures, and that's a big if, then you never know in the return. In the event of any tie, well, there's a 3 on the buzzer. Yanakis actually complaining to the table that the buzzer went late there, but well, the table officials have no control over that. It's automatic.
Yeah, Diarra got the ball in his hands, shot clock running down, put some air in it, got it nice and high, and came down nothing but net.
And Coach Pedulakis, well, he's not going to lie down and accept what many people think is inevitable. He's called a timeout. Let's see what he comes up with. At the moment, he's trailing by 19 points. This proud club from Salonika, they want the good times to return.
And there's your stats, Roy.
Well, too quick for me, I'm afraid, so...
Luckily.
Now, Coach Pedulakis, let's see what he's mapping out. What's he got in mind? What's he got in store for the mighty Olympiacos?
Well, the problem for them is that they lose this, Roy, they go 1-3, and now the pressure's on Pedulakis after that. He was Coach of the Year in this league 2001, 2003, so he comes with some pedigree. I mean, this is not a coach that's just thrown into the fire here. He's had a long playing career,
yeah,
a long coaching career.
When all the Greek journalists talk about the Greek League and how they would like to see it expanded or how they'd like to see it enhanced, they all talk about Panathinaikos, Olympiacos, Panionios, Panellinios, Aris, and then they say the rest. And in the rest they include PAOK. Well, PAOK would like to be in the Big 6 or the Big 8, where they think they belong. They were a big team in the 90s. But, well, they want the good times to return. At the moment, they'd like to make inroads into this 19-point deficit that they face. And they need to do it on defense. And I'll tell you what, Olympiacos have got their bench out there. Good opportunity here for PAOK. And the rebound is grabbed by Kafkis. Now let's see what comes out of that timeout.
A bit of an offense that wasn't going very far there for Olympiacos, and when Milosevic got it, didn't do much with it.
Yanakis definitely sent out a signal here. He wants his bench to perform, because you do need your bench in basketball. You can't win too many EuroLeague titles, or in fact Greek League titles, with 5 players. So he's giving an opportunity to some of his younger, more inexperienced and newer players here. As PAOK get back into the game with a 3 there, so it's now a 16-point game. Halperin misses the 3, and there's a rebound and a foul on Erceg.
Well, there's a good shot from Diarra down the other end. The second 3 this in the space of 3 or 4 minutes for him. Pushing the back there from Zoran Erceg. I wouldn't say there's worrying times for Olympiacos, but you sense there's a little bit of a comeback here from PAOK maybe in the end of this game.
All credit to Coach Pedolakis there. He's not quit. Maybe he does sense that his job's on the line, so he just wants to impress the PAOK owners somewhat with his fighting spirit. Ooh, look, a bit of a travel there. Out of bounds, and Olympiacos possession. Now is Diarra, he may have turned his ankle there. No, he's okay. I thought he just slipped and his ankle sort of stayed still for a second. Well, Lingria back in. Yanakis seen enough and puts his floor general back on the court.
Look at Nikola Vujic there standing up behind the bench. Roy. Fancy that's probably that he doesn't want to sit down and the joints go stiff.
You often a signal. Offer a signal to the coach there. If you're sitting on the bench and you stand up and start limbering up, hey, come on, coach, I'm still here.
I think Vujic will see this, look up at the scoreboard and 16 points and say, well, you know, my job's done for the day. Lingria pulls up.
And the rebound again, this time by Vassiliadis.
Yeah, Olympiacos need to get a few points on the board to make this game absolutely certain. Another chance here for PAOK to break into this lead. Plenty of time still. Yeah,
still a long way to go. Best part of 7 minutes. And rebound grabbed by Pelakanas. Pelakanas went to Real Madrid with great expectations of breaking into the big time, but really he was injured for most of the time when he was at Real and suffered a lot. And while trying to resurrect his career back here at Olympiacos. Oh, what a lovely smuggle pass there from Lingria, but Barousis couldn't hang on to it. And here go PAOK on the break, and the holding foul is against number 8. That's Igor Milosevic.
Right, 3rd offense in a row. Olympiacos have come up with nothing down the other end. I wonder if Yanakis might make a few moves, maybe another minute or so, give him a run. There's one sub coming in. You can just see the footsteps in the background.
Well, Teodosic is no bench player. He's very often a starter for Olympiacos, so back in, as indeed is Vujic. Yeah, the signal that Vujic sent out to his coach was received and acted upon.
He was standing for a long time, so obviously Yanakis couldn't see him.
So 16 points the lead for Olympiacos over PAOK Salonika. PAOK will be very, oh, that's, I was about to say it's a nice 2. It should have been a nice 2 again. And again, 2 points, 2 easy points, just spurned by PAOK Salonika.
You cannot afford to miss little gimmies like that.
Problem for PAOK is that the other Salonika team, Aris, beat Marousi this weekend by 10. So, well, they hate it when their arch rivals win, and they don't. So there's some motivation for PAOK. Mind you, everybody expected PAOK to lose when they came to the Stadium of Peace and Friendship, but if they can make it close, oh, that'll be something to talk about on the long journey home. But now it's a 14-point game.
Now, imagine what would have happened if PAOK had come out the last 2 minutes and put a few more baskets in. It would be very, very close.
Yeah, missed a few easy layups, haven't they? Missed a few foul shots as well. Nice pass in there. Vujic can't hang on to it. Here go PAOK again. Fast break from PAOK is successful. It's only a 12-point game now. Well, you never know. And will Yanakis be tempted to call a timeout?
Well, interesting to see, Roy. I get the impression Olympiacos have slightly changed their offensive set. They're 16 to 20 points up. They've gone to this like Princeton-style offense that Maccabi Tel Aviv used to run under Penny Gershon. Maybe we'll see a little bit of it here. A lot of backdoor cuts.
Penny Gershon, of course, former Olympiacos.
Oh, what a pass.
Coach.
What a pass. That's what he's renowned for.
Well, that's almost the highlight of the game there.
Look at this. Beautiful.
a la Sabonis almost.
Oh, that was Nikola Vujic averages 4 or 5 assists with his Maccabi days, and that's why he's a beautiful, lovely passer.
There's a nice pass as well, and another 2 for PAOK. They will not quit. 15 for PAOK is Marinos, one of the players that has been criticised in the Thessalonica press, saying that he was a bad recruit, but, well, he's got a point to make here. No behind-the-back pass this time from Vujic, but a foul against Marinos.
Yeah, got in the scorebook both ends there. Dimitri Marmarinos was not going to give up to Vujic. There's the push and slap. Oh, well. Easy the referee to see.
Yeah, that would have been called had there been 2 referees, not 3. So easy to call with the official on the baseline. Pelikanos outside the arc. Teodosic. It's Olympiacos by 14. Nice pass inside Vujic. The hook shot. Lovely shot there. Great understanding between Greer and Vujic.
He's happy about that.
That's the problem for all teams coming here to the Stadium Peace of Friendship. The bench with the strength in depth of Olympiacos. Well, there's a strong move from PAOK and the foul by Vujic, I think.
Yeah, Marmarinos just got his balance, got the ball, the rebound, and just had to get steady himself.
In fact, it was Pelikanos, the foul.
Yeah, nice move there from Dimitri Marmarinos. With Wesson on the bench. He's really the only beef they got under the basket. Mamadou Diarra will do some rebounding. But really it's down to Dimitri Marmarinos, the man on the line here.
A strange sideways movement on the foul shot there from Marmarinos.
Yeah, he does lean to one side. It must affect your balance, surely, when you're shooting your shot with your eyes.
Well, he's shooting off one leg. Yeah, shot off one leg then.
The left leg.
Yeah. The right foot was, well, only the toes touching the floor. So, as you say, not an awful lot of balance, but it's a 13-point Olympiacos lead now. Here's Prindizis with 3:40 to go in the 4th.
Well, if Roy PAOK had played slightly better this quarter, they'd be in this game still.
No way through there from Vujic. Vujic the rebound again, and he's fouled. And I tell you what, Coach Pedulakis there is going absolutely bananas, asking for the foul. And, well, I sympathise with him as well, because there were 2 or 3 situations there where PAOK could have got called a foul in their favour. And maybe even a foot violation by the man on the line at the moment. Yeah, there's the smiling coach. I think he knows. Didn't get the rub of the green there, as they say.
Well, it was all down to second effort, wasn't it? Vujic got away with maybe a travel, but held onto the ball, fed Childress. Childress shoots, and Vujic gets the rebound. You need a 5-man rebounding team, especially when you're playing against a team as good as Olympiacos. You can't afford lapses.
And Vujic makes PAOK pay to the fullest extent with both points from the line. Kafkis defended by Greer. The 3-pointer is good. It's Harissis.
It's Vassiliadis, Roy. It's that man coming off the bench. Bit of energy. It's that's a nice little momentum breaker there for PAOK. Now, can they do the defensive end?
3 minutes. It's still possible for PAOK to go away with an amazing win from the Stadium of Peace and Friendship, and they get the rebound, and the rebound Kafkis. It's a 12-point Olympiacos lead.
Yeah, not the right man with the ball. It was Pelikanos ended up with a 3.
Diarra almost got to drop that in, and he does. It's a 9-point lead now for Olympiacos. This is the first time it's been in single figures for an age.
Well, Kafkis there took his time, looked, made sure the wind was in the right direction, and nailed it.
I just wonder, have PAOK got the belief in themselves? Well, the coach certainly believes. But look at the defense, it's standing off. It's allowing Olympiacos to set their plays up. Teodosic nails the 3. That pathetic defense from PAOK. They got themselves back in the game, and then they just stood and watched.
Yeah, they definitely were hanging around there, waiting for something to happen. If you want to win the game, especially here, One of the top two stadiums in Greece.
Well,
top two teams.
Go back 4 or 5 minutes. I said if PAOK are going to win this, they've got to do it on defense, and that's exactly what they didn't do then. And now they've gone to the outside threat, and well, they've hit a couple, but that was a poor shot, an off-balance shot, and really they might have let Olympiacos off the hook here.
Well, it was their time. That was their time. The offense just now to try and put the get back in the game.
Yeah, Diarra,
I think, fouling on. Is it Teodosic? There it is. There's the foul.
Well, where was that kind of defense about 30 seconds ago? The PAOK defense just stood back, not just a meter, but 2 or 3 meters, and allowed Olympiacos to take an uncontested shot. Well, I know a lot of defense-minded coaches who would, well, they go berserk if that was their team. Lingria from the corner declines the three-point attempt, gets his shot blocked, legally so, by that man, Marmarinas.
It was a great move from Greer to spin out and get the space, but going up too slow.
12 on the shot clock for Olympiacos. Vutic in the low post. Travel called?
Yeah, Pelikanos, I think, just took a little shuffle for he saw the man open. Just couldn't get it out of his hands quick enough.
Now a must-score situation for PAOK to put pressure on Olympiacos again. The gap is 11. There's still time for PAOK to do it. 75 seconds remaining. This time they probably do need a 3. Diarra. No one wants to shoot. No one wants to shoot. 3 seconds called. No, that's... Oh, that's... Well, they played...
the foul, the 3 second, yeah. But I don't know why Marmarinas ended up with the extra pass to whoever was going in for the shot. I think it was Vassiliadis. Should have shot the ball himself. And then, yeah, looks like PAOK have just surrendered this one.
No confidence. Nobody wanted to shoot. And all Olympiacos need to do now is keep the ball, which they just about managed to do with 10 on the shot clock.
Easier said than done, I think.
Oh, what a thread-the-needle pass there from Vutic. Now, whose hand is that touch last? Well, whatever happened, it was given to Olympiacos. Shot clock ticking down, it's on 5. Here's Lingria and pulls up for the 2 points. Long 2 from Lingria. Well, he's hit a couple of those, more than that, in fact, long fadeaway shots. Very, very difficult to defend. And that just about wraps it up, I think, for Olympiacos. They lead by 13. The closest, well, now it's 10, but probably a little bit too late. The closest that PAOK have been is 9 points. They're 10 down now, but look at that. No attempt to play in defense, no attempt to stop the clock, no attempt to foul, just standing back and accepting the inevitable. That is not good teamwork.
Yeah, you're right, Ryan. I believe that. You don't let teams play out a half quarter, and they fouled right with 8 seconds to go. No rhyme, no reason to that. You're going to play defense, play hard, but you know, it's interesting situation. It does reflect on you as a coach, there's no doubt about it.
Well, Argyris Padoulakis has got to get his team together and talk about this game. Their recognition of situations has been very poor. But then again, I could say that about the coach as well. He hasn't seemed to work on situations in the game.
I think with the pick and roll being such a big part of teams like Olympiacos and Panathinaikos, you have to work and work and work at it. And these players will have a 2-hour session in the morning on the weights maybe, and then 2-hour session on the court. You've got to do it every day. You've got to work on the pick and roll, maybe an hour a day. Different parts of the court you've got to work on. You've got to practice it. The rotations are so important because there's so much of it is around the game today.
Go back to about 7 seconds before half-time when PAOK Salonika had an out of bounds. They didn't seem to know what on earth was going on. They threw up a bad shot. Josh Childress threw the ball down the floor and Olympiacos scored on the buzzer. Now that could have been a 3-point score for PAOK. Instead it was a 2-point score for Olympiacos. The game might have changed then. Okay, Olympiacos have had 20-point leads throughout this second half, but PAOK got themselves back into the game and then they turned off twice. Why? I was staggered when I saw that defense. Or, well, there was no defense there to look at. So PAOK with the last offense of the game, and the layup is successful, but it's all too little too late. So 1 second remaining. That's it. Olympiacos Piraeus have beaten PAOK Salonika by 9 in this 4th week of the regular season of the Greek League. So PAOK Salonika go 1 win and 3 losses, and Olympiacos go 4-0, as indeed do Panathinaikos. From me, Roy Birch, and from my colleague in the commentary booth, Mickey Beth, goodbye.